After almost 2 years of using Genki, I'm going to share why I initially chose it over SafetyWing, what it's actually like to make a claim, and how much of the claim I made they actually paid out. Now, this video is in no way sponsored, but I do have a referral link if you choose to go with Genki, and if you don't, please let me know what you are going with, because I too am shopping for the best deal. Now, 2 years ago, I wasn't really looking for travel health insurance. Most of the places I'm visiting are developing countries where medical costs are far cheaper than the Western countries that are providing these medical insurance plans. But my parents insisted for their peace of mind, I get a plan, and the reality is that if something big does happen, then having a plan does matter.
Snorkeling can be a little dangerous if you're not paying attention to where you're going.
And also, some of these plans have US coverage, and that is very valuable when I go back to the US because medical costs in the US are terrible. Traumatizing. High. Now, the most dominant option is SafetyWing, but it's not cheap. US coverage for citizens is only 2 weeks, and being that it's so popular, I doubted that it really was the most competitive in value. So I started looking at alternatives. And the one I found was Genki. Now, right away, what I liked about Genki was that it had fairly similar travel health coverage, but for Americans, it offered 42 days of coverage per 180 days back in the US, compared to SafetyWing's 15 days per 90 days, which was better for me since I usually have 30-day stays about once a year. It was cheaper in my age group, which was then 29, so I was still in the 20s age group. They were very good at communicating. Actually, when I sent them a message asking about coverage of their plan, the person I was speaking to recommended that I sign up for the plan right away since I was almost turning 30, so I would have gone into the higher price age group. Literally a day before my birthday, I signed up for the plan, and doing so enabled me to lock in that price for the next 2 years. The price I got was €4 a month, but since then, all the age group prices have gone up, so that is something to consider in your calculations. As long as you don't cancel the plan, you get to keep that price. This summer when my plan ends, I'll now be in the 30s age group, and I'll need to assess again if the plan is the best value. Before signing up, I discussed my options with ChatGPT and even had it review the contract, which is something I highly recommend. And it seemed like the best option for me, and so I went ahead with it. But the big question is, how was it actually to make a claim, and did they pay it out? And luckily or unluckily, I got the answer for that. I was in Georgia, the country, and Kutaisi has a lot of stray dogs.
I just got my first ever dog bite, kind of scratched the surface.
Now, this was a small dog, it was a minor bite, but it did break skin. And after consulting ChatGPT, I decided that I should go to a clinic.
Yes or no?
I don't know, it's like this.
And the doctors agreed that it was best that I get rabies shots.
Rabies is strong.
Now, the thing about rabies shots is that it's a series of 5 shots that are given over like a month.
4 more shots over the next month.
The first one in Kutaisi was the most expensive at $60, and then I went to Tbilisi, Georgia, and that one was the cheapest at $10, and then I went to Yerevan, Armenia for the next 3, and those were each around $40. So in total, I spent around $240 on the treatment. Now, it was my first time doing anything like this, so as soon as I got my first shot, I contacted Genki and was like, hey, do I need to prepare anything for filing a claim? And they were like, just keep the bills, and you can submit them. And so after my final shot, I collected all the receipts, filled out the form, and submitted it to them. I submitted the form on September 4th and got a response on October 19th. That's about 6 weeks. So what they told me was the first bill from Kutaisi came out to 51 euros. My deductible was 50 euros. So essentially they were going to pay 651 euros or about $7 of the $240 I paid in medical costs. Why were they not paying the rest? The reason they gave was that only the first one was a proper invoice with my name and details, whereas other ones didn't include that and were just receipts. So I sent them my bank details, and within 2 weeks, they sent me $692 USD. Now, that was frustrating. I feel like they could have told me that from the start, that this is something that I should be aware of and look for. Because of that error, perhaps on my part, I didn't get covered for most of my claim. So, can I recommend Genki, and will I be continuing my plan this summer once the contract is up and I have new pricing? As of now, it's a maybe. With the price going up, I have to assess again whether it's the best deal, but it's the only plan I know of right now that has that longer coverage for being in the US. It has a 42-day coverage being in the US. That being said, if you know of a better option, please comment it below. Myself, and I'm sure others watching, will appreciate that information. If you choose to go with Genki, it's a big help to the channel if you use my link. Otherwise, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Love and peace wherever you are.